Welcome everyone to this explainer. Today, we are going to completely unpack the HSC Business Studies marketing syllabus, and we're doing it by looking straight into the corporate playbooks of fast food giants like Yum Brands and McDonald's. If you've ever wanted to know how these textbook marketing theories actually play out in the real world on a massive global scale, well, you are absolutely in the right place. Let's get right into it. So take a look at this syllabus document. I know. At first glance, it might seem a little bit dry, but this is actually the exact blueprint multinational corporations use to dominate global markets. The elements listed right here are the very same concepts that executives at top-tier global firms use to plan their next big move. It's basically their playbook. To keep us super focused today, we're going to use the RIPS framework to guide our agenda. That stands for role, influences, processes, and strategies. To kick things off, this quote brilliantly illustrates how a corporate giant like Yum Brands, a company that operates over 55,000 restaurants across 155 countries, frames their entire marketing strategy around what they call a recipe for good growth. You see, it's not just about selling burgers or buckets of fried chicken anymore. It's about being deeply aligned with what real people and communities actually want and need. All right, Section 1, Role, the strategic foundation. So, what does this actually mean? Well, the strategic role isn't just about making a quick buck. It's really about deep interdependence. Think of it like a giant puzzle. A marketing department literally cannot survive in a vacuum. It has to work hand in hand with finance to secure campaign budgets, with operations to ensure they can actually produce the food being advertised, and with human resources to hire the staff capable of delivering the brand's promise. They all completely rely on each other. To really understand how we got here, let's look at how things have evolved. Historically, businesses used what's called a production approach. They would just mass-produce items as efficiently as possible and basically just cross their fingers and hope consumers bought them. But modern giants, they rely heavily on the marketing approach. Today, brands like Taco Bell or KFC do the research first to find out exactly what you, the customer, want before they even think about introducing a new product. Within this approach, a business has to figure out exactly which type of market it's targeting. While resource or industrial markets deal with raw materials and business-to-business sales, fast food operates squarely in the consumer market. Now, historically, they relied heavily on the mass market, targeting everyone with a standard, universal message. But as we're about to see, that entire concept is rapidly changing, all because of data. Here is where it gets really exciting. Listen to Tariq Hassan from McDonald's. By using massive, unprecedented data sets, McDonald's is actually shifting away from that broad mass marketing strategy and moving toward a hyper-focused mass personalization. By analyzing things like app usage and digital ordering habits, they aren't treating millions of people like a single faceless crowd anymore. They're treating them as distinct individuals with specific tastes. It is a real game changer. Moving right along to Section 2, Influences, navigating the environment. There are 4 massive factors that influence customer choice: psychological, sociocultural, economic, and government influences. Essentially, these 4 forces dictate whether a customer chooses to walk through the doors of a KFC, a McDonald's, or just skip fast food altogether on any given Tuesday. Let's look at how this plays out in reality. McDonald's actively shapes their menus and advertising to respond directly to these trends. By placing salads right next to their fries, they create this psychological health halo, right? It kind of makes consumers feel a little less guilty about their purchase. At the exact same time, offering halal menus in Western Sydney shows a direct adaptation to the sociocultural and religious values of that specific community. It's just absolutely fascinating to see this theory in action. But influencers aren't just about consumer habits. They also involve some pretty strict legal and ethical boundaries. Alongside consumer laws that are there to prevent deceptive advertising and price discrimination, marketers have to navigate some serious ethical minefields. They have to make absolutely sure they avoid deceptive practices like sudging. If you haven't heard of it, sudging is when a business pretends to conduct a survey, but really, they're just trying to sell you something. Definitely unethical. And this perfectly illustrates the impact of ethical influences over time. Think back to controversies like the famous 1997 McLibel case in the UK. Because of the fallout, McDonald's was basically forced to go above and beyond standard legal requirements. In Australia, they engaged in voluntary self-regulation to restrict the marketing of unhealthy foods to kids just to protect their brand image. It just goes to show that good ethics is fundamentally good business. Okay, Section 3, Processes, the marketing plan. Think of the marketing process as a sequential journey. You absolutely cannot just skip straight to making a flashy ad. A business has to start by analyzing where it currently stands, then conduct the research, set goals, identify the audience, develop the strategies, and ultimately monitor and control the financial outcomes to ensure the whole shebang actually worked. It all kicks off with step one. Before launching a crazy new burger or expanding a franchise into a brand new country, a situational analysis ensures the brand deeply understands its internal strengths, like having a globally recognized brand name, as well as its external threats, which could be anything from rising inflation to new local competitors popping up. Now, let's fast forward to the final step, monitoring and controlling. I want you to consider this staggering number, $24 billion. That was Yum Brand's digital sales in 2022 alone. By doubling their digital business since 2019, they've proven the immense power of monitoring real-time digital data. They can compare their actual sales results against what they planned and then instantly revise their marketing strategies to maximize revenue. Literally, real-time optimization. Which brings us to Section 4, Strategies, the action plan. This is where the theoretical planning transforms into concrete action. To capture market share, businesses deploy a vast array of strategies. They don't just rely on a single magic trick. They manipulate the entire extended marketing mix: product, price, promotion, place, people, processes, and physical evidence, all while balancing global branding. Take Taco Bell, for instance. They are putting on an absolute masterclass in product strategy and promotion. They listened closely to this intense internet-wide customer demand and brought back the iconic Mexican pizza, cleverly pairing it with their Live Más culture. Now, that wasn't an accident. That was a highly coordinated promotional strategy designed to create a massive cultural moment that would drive incredible sales. And what about the extended marketing mix? The processes and e-marketing side of things. Well, Pizza Hut hit the nail on the head here. Their global rollout of the Dragontail AI platform to over 2,500 restaurants perfectly illustrates how streamlining back-end processes and leveraging e-marketing ensures customers get a hot, fast, and reliable pizza every single time. But here's the catch. When these massive brands operate globally, they have to make a really tough strategic choice. Global marketing requires a delicate balance. On one hand, you have KFC, which largely standardizes its core brand identity and that famous secret recipe worldwide to achieve economies of scale. On the other hand, you have McDonald's India completely omitting beef from their menu. It's a brilliant example of how customizing a product to align with local sociocultural influences is equally vital for global success. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a question to chew on. We've seen exactly how massive corporations use the RIPS framework to navigate these super complex environments. But as artificial intelligence and real-time digital data continue to evolve at lightning speed, how might the role, influences, processes, and strategies shift for the marketers of tomorrow? If they can personalize everything, will the traditional mass market simply become a thing of the past? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me to decode the syllabus today, and keep looking closely at the strategies unfolding all around you.